Right, welcome to this Tactics and Showcase video. It's for the Blood Angels Smash Captain. Now, on the channel already is a video showing you sort of how I put the model together. So it's an amalgamation of a number of models, sort of conversion work that I've done, and so you can check that video out just to give you the details of how I put the model together. This video here is the Tactics video. So the unit's finished, it's been painted up. I'll show them to you in just a moment, and then we'll take a look at the tactics. The upgrades, the combinations, stratagems and so on. We'll cover all of that here in this video, and I'll give you the full lowdown of how you can use one of the most effective units, I think, for Blood Angels now. It's a unique option that's available to them, and it's like a combination of a load of things like stratagems, warlord traits and so on, all stacking up that are unique to this book here, and so you're able to make, I think, a very effective unit. I haven't used him in a game yet, but apparently he's good. We'll see that in future battle reports, all being well. So what we'll do now is take a look at the model first of all. So the last time you saw him, if you saw the previous video, would have been just unpainted entirely, just plastic, and then with the basing ready to go. He's now been finished. So I'm going to zoom in here and you can take a closer look at the results. So here he is. I'll show you the base here. The base, very happy with how the base has come out, just apart from an old rhino. Some skulls here. There's an old bolter. There is, if you like this basing style, most of my armies are done in this urban colour scheme here. Then there is a urban basing tutorial here on the regular channel, so you can check that out if you like the results of that. And then there he is in his golden armour. So he should look right fighting alongside the sanguinary guards. He's going to hang around with them. And so I've followed the same process for painting him as I did those models. There's the shield. I think these plumes have come out alright. So this is from the Prosecutor set here that's available for Age of Sigmar from the Stormcast Eternals. I cover all the details of how I put it together, and you can see it perhaps more clearly in the previous video of all the different arms and bits that I've used there. You can see this Sanguinary Guardsman jump pack here, and the Prosecutor wings, like so, which look nice in white and gold. That's how I plan to paint it, and I think it's come out quite nice. Just there, and then the Thunderhammer. And then bareheaded I went for, was going to go for, and it would equally look just as good, I think, and that's one of the heads from the Sanguinary Guard set, with all the crests, the spikes and so on coming up. Went bareheaded for this one. Like so, but pretty happy with how he's come together. So if you like the results here, then on the channel here is the Blood Angels painting tutorial, and all of the colours are covered in that. Now obviously there's more gold in this one here, but I do show you how to paint the gold in that tutorial, and the black and the red and so on, the white as well. It's all covered in that tutorial, so you can check that out on the channel here in the painting tutorial section, or just look up Blood Angels painting tutorial, and that will show you from start to finish how to achieve these same results. Cover the basing in that video as well. So if you like the look of this model and want to achieve the same results here, just follow along step by step, then check out that Blood Angels painting tutorial. Now on the Plus channel there is the Blood Angels in-depth painting tutorial. Show you how to paint one of the vehicles for the tougher units, bigger projects. Show you, go into more detail and show you how to cover something of a larger scale in that video. That's the Plus channel. You can check that out. The link is in the description of this video here. So I'm happy with how it's come out. I'm just itching to use them in games. Now I've got a good number of games planned, so it'll be a while before you see him. The Blood Angels will still have some battles to fight without him. Some games have already been filmed, but the next time the Blood Angels fight, they have a chance, he'll be in the army. So what I'm doing with the Blood Angels at the moment is working on a new list for them, a revamped list. That list has been proposed. It's in an army development video on the Plus channel at the moment. There's comments and feedback for that going on at the moment. Now I have one more unit to paint to add into this new list, and the new list is ready to go. So it's quite a major change, but I have a lot of the models ready to fight, and just painting up one brand new unit, which you should see in a tactical video as well once I've painted that model up as well. So what we'll do now, this is a showcase video, but also it's tactics, so we'll take a look at the tactics, but look at the size of them on the board. I wanted something that was high up, leaping up into the sky, and a big wingspan. Not the easiest of models to hide, but I'm going to sacrifice that bonus for just the presence of him on the on the table. If you want to keep up to date with painting projects, check out Instagram. I'm on Instagram now, and I take pictures and so on, sometimes ahead of any videos that come out, and so you'll be able to see pictures of him and other projects I'm working on. It's a great visual way of sharing images and so on, so check me out on Instagram to keep up to date with projects and models being painted up as well. Right, so he does have a name, by the way. Really been chewing through the different suggestions that have been made. He'd asked for some suggestions, got loads and loads of ideas for names. So names like named after angels like Michael, Raphael and so on were all ideas, but instead I've gone for Captain Lazarus. I think it's a great name, and then I like the use of the word hammer, because he's got a hammer, and hammer's an aggressive sounding name, so hammer. And then some were saying Hammer Dawn or Dawn Hammer, I'm not sure which, so again you can help out, maybe we'll have a vote here in this video. So Captain Lazarus Dawn Hammer or Captain Lazarus Hammer Dawn. It's either of those two. I can't make up my mind, so I'll have a vote. Dawn Hammer, Hammer Dawn. Leave a like to whichever one you want to vote for, and then that's the one I'll go for. I'll leave it to the absolute final decision there to the viewers here in this video. So Hammer Dawn or Dawn Hammer for the last name. So Lazarus Hammer Dawn or Lazarus Dawn Hammer. I think it's a great sounding name. He just needs to get involved in some fights now for him to make a name for himself. So I'll cover as much the tactics as I can, and then check out the feedback and comments below for other experienced Blood Angel players that will offer their own suggestions and so on. So it's a customised captain here. So you take a captain, and then what you do is you pay the points to take one with a jump pack. So captain with jump pack, 93 points for that. Your stats is movement 6, but it becomes movement 12. That's so helpful. You've got your deep strike ability the moment you go for that, and the speed. Instead of moving around like this, you've got double the movement, and you want him to be moving around the table quickly. You don't want turns where he's wasted by not fighting. You're only fighting as many turns as possible to cause as much trouble as possible. So the quicker he moves around the table, the better. He then gains fly and jump pack, and he gets jump pack assault, so he's able to make that deep strike attack. Now he has weapon skill and ballistic skill 2+, so it's excellent, very reliable hitting power, strength and toughness 4. He's got 5 wounds, 4 attacks, which is a good amount of attacks. Leadership 9 and 3 up save. Frag and crack grenades, and then you go for the Thunderhammer for characters, which is 21 points, but well worth it. It really is good. That's your double your strength, so you're on strength 8, and then -3 on the save, and then straight 3 damage. Very reliable, solid damage coming through. Really good weapon. And then you can take, to protect him a little bit, you don't have to go for this. Some suggestions, people were saying you don't have to go for this because he does have the Iron Halo, which gives him a 4+ invuln save anyway. So if you want to save the points, you don't have to take the shield. Some were actually saying take or keep the chainsword because you get an extra attack with that. So you keep the 4+ invuln save, and then you get the extra attack for keeping the chainsword, so that gives him 5 attacks base. It's a pretty good idea. But I still think I'm going to go for the Storm Shield just to give him a bit better protection. May well prove very important. So Storm Shield characters, it's 15 points just to boost his invuln save up to a 3+, just to make him that much more solid. I really do want to go for that. It is -1 to hit, by the way, on the Thunderhammer, so he'll be hitting on 3s, which is still pretty reliable, but it's not as good as 2s. There is a way around that though, we'll check that out later. Then he comes with Rites of Battle. You can reroll hit rolls of 1, made for friendly Blood Angels units within 6 of this model. So this is excellent here. It's very good for him. 3s to hit rerolling 1s just makes him that much more reliable, and also the placement of him will be important. So if I have other units nearby, now this is any units and it's any type of hit rolls. So for example, I run Stormraven, or the new list I propose has 2. Keep him nearby, granting them their reroll 1s, and all of a sudden you can help enhance the firepower. Not just the combat, but the firepower of other units nearby as well. So the tactical placement of this guy, yes, the overall aim is to get him into combat, but also that reroll 1s is very, very helpful. It really, really is. So have him hang around. Someone was saying you can use him as a counter-attack unit. You can have him hang around a load of predators, for example, granting their reroll 1s with their shooting, and then if something gets too close to them, or the game moves on to the later stages, he can then move out, and you can use him for his close combat ability. So the new list I've got is very aggressive, so he'll be keeping up with the attack, and then granting all those reroll 1s. Very, very helpful indeed, so that's excellent. So that's the loadout. At the moment we're sitting on 4 attacks, so he's going to struggle to destroy your average vehicle. The aim is to try and build this guy so that he can take out a vehicle, you know, with 10, 11, 12 wins, and do it quite reliably. At the moment he can do it, but he'll need a good round to make that successful. So to try and push those odds up, there's a number of things you can do. I may well experiment with all the different options that are available. So remember, you do have the red first, so +1 to wound rolls. The average vehicle's toughness 7, so he'll be on 3s to wound. He'll become 2s to wound. That really helps. Massive help. Then against a Baneblade, toughness 8, 4s to wound usually, and then he'll become 3s to wound. That's all very helpful as well. So I'm wondering if he's allowed to use this one. We'll cover some stratagems now. Forlorn Fury. Use this stratagem at the start of the first battle round before the first turn begins. You can immediately move one of your Death Company infantry units, and you can even advance if it was your movement phase. You can use this stratagem once. So he needs to be Death Company, which you can do over here. Death Visions of Sanguinius. This is sort of the stack of stratagems that makes this possible. Use this stratagem when mustering your army. Select a Blood Angel's captain. There he is. Chaplain or lieutenant from your army, other than Primaris and named characters. He's not, he's customised. This model gains the Death Company keyword and Black Rage for the duration of the battle. So now you can take the Forlorn Fury, I believe you can. So that's going to give him a free move. A bit scary, that. So that may well prove useful. First battle round before the first turn begins. Be interesting to know. Here's a question here. If you use this stratagem after you know for sure who's going first or second. If you move him out, take the risk of not going first. You could put him in danger. But if you know you're going first, take that move. But it's interesting. No restrictions here. Doesn't say you can't charge. That's an interesting stratagem. That one could catch opponents out by surprise. But if you know the details of that one, then leave that in the comment section below. But you've got your Death Visions of Sanguinius. So 6s for ignoring wounds available for him with that Death Company, and Black Rage ability as well. Yes, the other great thing about Black Rage is you get +1 to your attacks. Yeah, and then D6 on 6 you ignore wounds. So all of a sudden, every time he charges now, it's not 5 attacks. It's not 4 attacks. It's 5 attacks. You're just pushing up, stacking up the effectiveness of him. So you got 5 attacks rerolling 1s. May well roll up some dice here at the end of this video, just to try and illustrate the potential this guy has, just to show you how effective he can be once you've stacked up all these benefits. So that is good. Death Visions of Sanguinius, I think that's an absolute must. For 1 command point, you just super enhancement on him. So there's some others here. Yeah, Wings of Fire. Use the stratagem in your movement phase for moving a Blood Angel's jump pack unit. That's him. Remove the unit from the battlefield and set it up. At the end of that phase, anywhere on the battlefield is more than 9 inches from any model. So massive ability to relocate. It's only 1 command point. So you're at the far corner of the battlefield. There's a unit somewhere that you want to take out. You can relocate very quickly with him. Excellent speed available with that. It's only 1 command point. Then Descent of Angels. If you do deep strike him down, either you've held him in reserve or you've played this upon Wings of Fire. This is very helpful. You get a 3d6 charge instead of 2d6. That is, again, trying to just make him as reliable as possible. It is expensive, 2 command points, but it's well worth paying it if you want to make that charge be successful. The other great one here is Red Rampage, only 1 command point. Use your stratagem in your fight phase. So this is when you really want to dish the damage out here. You know you're going to need as many attacks as possible. It's D3 extra attacks to a Blood Angel's character that charged earlier in the turn. So again, 5 attacks, then it'll become a minimum of 6, potentially 8 attacks, thanks to that one. All of a sudden, a heap of attacks available. And then, yeah, that one's helpful against Chaos, Heretic Astartes or Black Legion. Just extra attacks generated on 6s or 4+s against Black Legion. Honor the Chapter. Now these two are good, they're expensive, but they're really good. Honor the Chapter is you get to fight again. There's so many stratagems that can help this guy out. So, I mean, how helpful would that be? Got a Bane Blade, you stack up all of your attacks and bonuses, you charge in, and then fight again. And this one guy could literally take out a Super Heavy. If he's good enough, if you roll well. It's doable, really is doable. And then only in death does duty end. Yeah, that horrible situation when you've got a really good character and he's slain before he gets to fight. You can pay the 2 command points and he will get to shoot, even if he dies, which is brilliant. So use of stratagems here really helps this guy out. So you can see, you get an idea of why he's so popular. And you're looking at about 121 points, I think, for him in total, so he's an absolute bargain. It's a load of things that are free of charge, really. You're just paying command points for them, and you can make a model that's good, make him excellent. So next is Warlord traits. So I'll make him the Warlord, I think, no problem at all. Usually I have the Sanguinius. He has to take heroic bearing, which is automatic. Morale test passes. It never really helped very much, really, in games. So I'm glad to drop the Sanguinius as the Warlord at least. I plan to keep him in the army. So imagine these two, Sanguinius and him. The Sanguinius and Lazarus fighting side by side. And something else actually, because the Sanguinius, you can have one's the attacks characteristic of friendly Blood Angels infantry units within 6 of the Sanguinius. So if they work together, yes, if they work together, then my captain will get an extra attack on top of that. So you've got potential 9 attacks with them fighting nearby. Deadly. So Warlord traits, there's 2 here. Again, just following along what some of the subscribers to both of the channels have been suggesting here. So Artisan of War is 1, +1 to your damage characteristic of 1 weapon, can't be a Relic of Bow, so you need to keep the regular Thunderhammer, but it'll become damage 4. That's really going to push up the damage that you kick out from this thing, so that is a very good one. The other is Gift of Foresight. Roll d6 each time your Warlord loses a wound, rerolling rolls of 1. On a 6, the wound is ignored and has no effect. If your Warlord has a Black Rage ability, then instead ignore wounds on a 5 or a 6. But the similar ability to ignore wounds to the Black Rage has no effect. So 5s and 6s to ignore wounds, rerolling 1s. That's pretty good. You're going to block just over 1/3 of the damage that he receives. And it may well prove helpful because not only 5 wounds is okay, but it's not a ton of wounds. And so the last thing you want to happen is someone gets a laser cannon shot through against him. They pick him out if he's closest target, and then they roll a 6, and all of a sudden 6 wounds, there's nothing you can do about it. So that's going to help keep him alive. The other way I plan to keep him alive is to be careful with him, to protect him, because he's a character who can hide behind stuff. The opponent's got to try and kill other units in front. And then also, which I think would be very helpful, is the Sanguinius Priest. The ability to heal D3 wounds. You imagine him, he's gravely wounded, 1 wound left, he can jump back, pick up some wounds, the Sanguinius Priest, if he's not needed anywhere else, and then chuck him back out again. And so this is one of the units in my Blood Angels list. You'll see it on the Plus channel. There's units that can die and concede the fact that's going to happen, but this is one of the units I want to keep alive the entire game. If he's still alive at the end of a game, the Blood Angels, I think, will be in a strong position. But So the aim is to try and protect him, not lose him recklessly, but to keep him alive for as long as possible. So that's Warlord traits. Then relics, again, some difficult choices here. You've got Hammer of Bow, which is just a regular thunder hammer, 3 damage and so on, but there's no minus to hit. So he'll be on 2s to hit, rerolling 1s. That's very, very reliable. You're going to hit with virtually everything. Imagine 9 attacks, get 9 hits. Yeah, that's enough to destroy a super heavy, theoretically, in 1 round of combat. If you maxed out on all of your attacks, so deadly, that one. But I'm gravely tempted to go for this one. I've seen the benefits of this for my Eldar army, the Angel's Wing. Jump pack model only. You can reroll failed charge rolls for model equipped with Angel's Wing. What's the point in having very reliable close combat if you fail to make the charge in the first place and your opponent cannot fire Overwatch? So again, you want him to charge in against a super heavy, here comes the Overwatch and he could be in real trouble. No Overwatch is massive, especially against super heavies, Lame Russes, Hellblasters, all those kind of targets. Units equipped with loads of flame weapons, 0 Overwatch. And also if you're stacking him up with other units trying to charge in, then you charge him in first, no Overwatch allowed, he reaches in close combat and then the other units can charge in as well with no danger of Overwatch. So that is a massive, massive, massive benefit, the Angel's Wing. So I'm sure those of you that play a lot of 40k, the amount of times characters have been picked off with 6s being caused by melters and las cannons and so on. There's no danger of that with Angel's Wing. So despite the Hammer of Bow being very reliable, you don't reroll 1s anyway for him being a captain. Angel's Wing I think is the option I'm going to go for that relic. You can't take 2 relics for 1 model, sadly. So just be that one. And then I'll have to pay an extra command point to take a second relic. I do like Veritas Vitae. If your army is Battleforged and the bearer is on the battlefield, roll d6 each time you use a stratagem. On a 5+, you gain a command point. And that is helpful, just to keep the command points, as many of them for as long as possible. So probably will take Veritas Vitae as well. So that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. Check the comment section below and see what other people have said. There's the model. I'm going to roll up some examples here just to illustrate the potential this Slamguinius model has. So I've got my crash test Rhino here. I'll use him as an example, just a standard vehicle, toughness 7, 3-up save. So the other key thing here, must mention this, he has the fly keyword, which means he will be able to assault units that can fly, so, or that have the fly keyword. So he'll be great for taking on flyers and units that usually you'd struggle to reach in close combat. So you've got a Helldrake that's terrorising you. I don't think they're that effective, but say that you've got one of those moving across your army, he's allowed to go after flyers. So again, another very reliable, flexible option available for him. So 12 inches is very fast. We'll say I've gone for, we'll try and bog standard, and then with all the upgrades. I think we'll do it that way. So we'll say it goes in, just move this over, so he charges in. I would take the no Overwatch allowed, so he makes it in. We'll not do Overwatch here from the Rhino. He gets his 4 attacks, and that's it. So we're going to no upgrades at all, no death visions of Sanguinius or anything like that. So Thunderhammer here, 3s to hit, and that's the problem there. And he will not destroy this vehicle now. Could have re-rolled those if they were 1s. So now we're on 3s to wound, becomes 2s to wound. Here, red first. So the wounds do come through, that's a nice reliable part. 6s to block here. No, it's just 6 damage. So he has caused trouble for that Rhino, but he's failed to destroy it. Give it another go. So you're gonna, as I said earlier, you're going to need a decent, again, can't use that. You're going to need a decent amount, a decent round at this kind of configuration for him to be effective. All the wounds come through, but still going to be enough. 6s to block, no. Alright, so 9 damage. Rhino still remains alive. So you can see he needs to have more than 4 attacks. You know, 6 attacks or more is what you're aiming for, I think, to make him that much more reliable. So now we'll go for the 4 basic attacks. Say we give him the definitions of Sanguinius, Black Rage and so on, so he's charged, he gets an extra attack there, and then we'll play that stratagem as well that grants him the extra D3 attacks for characters. Yeah, it's this one. Red Rampage, yes. So we'll chuck in D3 extra, it's a good roll, 5, so it's 3 more attacks. So now all of a sudden he's got double the amount of attacks he'd usually have, 8 attacks. Yeah, we'll go for the no Overwatch. I'll go for the combination I'm going to go for, so just a standard Thunderhammer here. So those two don't make it, but because of the sheer number of attacks here, I think we're doing pretty good. 2s for wounds. And then 6s to block here. Blocked 1, we haven't destroyed it. Food for thought here, for sure, give him another go. So 4 attacks and 1 for charging, and then D3 for the stratagem, just 2 this time. Those 2s are annoying. Do you know, that is really irritating, that, because you're dropping your hits. Got the wounds, need a 6 here, the rhino's destroyed. No, got the rhino that time, but it's getting a bit close. It is a bit close. So it is mighty tempting to take that relic. We'll say now, yeah, but you're going to lose that, so you've got to balance it up about protecting the model and so on. So this is, I guess, as the game, when you know who you're fighting, then you can pick and choose your stratagems and so on. You're not forced to use them in a game. You can pick and choose which ones you want to use. But it's interesting here. He's kind of struggling to sort of have a guaranteed destruction here against this tank. Yeah. We'll try Artisan of War here. So it's going to be damage 4. He's charged and D3. Just the 1 this time. Might be glad to have Artisan of War. 3s to hit. 2s to wound. And 6s to block. Blocked 1. Now, if that was 3 damage, you'd have found. Because that's 4 damage, that's 12 wounds. And so he's destroyed it. Interesting. Do another attempt here. +1 for charge. D3 extra attacks. Just the 1 again. 2's trying to avoid. Reroll this one. Failed. 2's to wound. Ooh, trouble. And then 6s to block. Oh, only 4 damage that time around. Okay, so it's not that guarantee, but he's going to chuck out damage for sure. That was a poor round, but even on a poor round, he's caused 4 damage. Alright, we'll go for Hammer of Baal then. So now we're on our 2s to hit with this Thunderhammer. And Artisan of War then, we'll say we'll keep that as well. So now you're on 2s to hit, rerolling 1s with a 4 damage Thunderhammer. Sounds pretty good. But we're sacrificing the ability to fight to prevent Overwatch and reroll charges. This is a big tactical way up that has to take place here. And a gift of foresight, a bit of protection for him as well. So awkward choices to make. D3 extra attacks. 2s to hit. Look at that. There's the hits. We would have hit with 3 of them if it was regular. We've hit with 6. 2s to wound. All wounded except 1. You may well command reroll that one, but I think we should be fine. Save 1, but 16 damage. Okay, interesting results here. So a choice between trying to keep him alive or maximising damage output. Difficult choices to make. Maybe in the comment section below, leave your favourite choice. They're all viable, they're all good. Which is the best? That's a real area for discussion, that's for sure. Maybe we'll see in future games which of these options prevails. So there it is, that's the tactics video here and showcase video for the brand new Smash Captain Lazarus Dawnhammer or Hammer Dawn. So Leave your own comments and suggestions below. Which of those Warlord traits and stratagems combinations would you go for? And then maybe you run this guy already in your Blood Angels army, then leave your battlefield experience and how well he's done. Hints and tips of how you used him, where you place him in the battlefield. Do you bring him down behind the opponent's line? Do you bring him up with your attacking force? Whereabouts do you place him? And so on. Any hints and tips there can be shared, and that'll help others who are watching the video as well. There he is. Keep a look out for the new captain here for Blood Angels. He's painted up and ready for war. Keep a look out for more tactical videos as well on the channel. And then for battle reports for Blood Angels, there's plenty of them here on this channel. And then also on the Plus channel as well. Check that out. You'll see loads of Blood Angels battle reports available on there as well. Plus the army development where you'll see the brand new list. But there it is. That's the video. Thanks for watching and tune in next time.